the Swedish west coast, runs from the southern end of Sweden all along to the Norwegian border. The northern part of the coast, called Bohuslän, is ranked in CNN's list as 10 of the last great wildernesses in the world, and called out to be one of the most beautiful coasts in the entire world. Due to the water streaming in from the Atlantic Ocean, the salinity is high enough to make a great environment for thousands of different species. Every year we are producing more than 300 million tons of plastic. Half of this is designed for single use, and each year around 8 million tons of it ends up in our oceans. When a Malex napkin is thrown into the ocean, it starts to decompose to biomass that doesn't cause any damage. When a piece of plastic is thrown into the ocean, it starts to decompose, but not to biomass. Plastic decomposes to very small pieces of plastic, called microplastics. The big problem with microplastics, besides that it contains chemicals, is that it attracts hydrophobic toxics. The microplastics looks like plankton, and it makes the marine organism eats it instead of the real plankton. The more microplastics an animal eats, the more hydrophobic toxics are stored in the animal. The concentration of the toxic gets higher the higher we get in the food chain. This causes a big problematic for the marine animals, but the problem doesn't stop there. The truth is that in the long term this will have a big effect on the planet and us humans as well, since 70% of the oxygen we breathe is produced by the marine plants. One of the 17 municipalities along the coast is Öckerö Island. The fishermen at Öckerö spends in general 1 to 2 hours a week on cleaning out plastics from their fish nets. At Öckerö, the ocean is a common topic of conversations among the politicians.
How are you as a municipality working to help the situation?
We are in a project called Attraktiv ren kust, attractive clean coast, which all municipalities along the coastline and in Sweden, or at least in the west of Sweden, are part of. From that project we get 50,000 kronor every year to employ people to clean the beaches.
What can you do as an individual?
I think we have to reduce our consumption of plastic. That means both plastic projects, toys and stuff, and but also what I understood, a lot of the particles from plastic in the ocean comes from plastic bags. They dissolve very easily and become very fine particles. They also fish and other ocean mammals like turtles eat the plastic because it shines a bit like plankton does what they eat. So they think it's food and they swallow it and they can choke on it and die, and it's also very bad for their different organs. So I think plastic bags are quite a bad impact, and I think the EU is now looking at trying to reduce our consumption of plastic bags by forbidding it or making laws. So I think when you go shopping you should try to avoid to buy a plastic bag, but take your own bag. So,
do you think there's anything the state could do?
Absolutely, I think laws are very important to do increase laws so that you're not allowed to do certain things. I think you can have a lot of subsidies, introduce taxes so that certain things which are bad for the environment cost a lot of money, and thereby it doesn't get popular for companies to do that. Maybe one person doesn't change the world, but if everybody does it and everybody thinks the same, then we can really make an impact.
Hey, star, what's the